Hey there, everyone. This is your girl, Tiffany Renee, and welcome back to another episode of the Millennial Mogul Podcast featuring the brand, the business, and the boss. Millennial Mogul is tailor-made to the entrepreneur. This is where you can hear from experts within your niche on how to monetize, maximize, and capitalize in your business as an aspiring millennial mogul. So today I have a very special guest with me. His name is Deonte Morris. He is the founder and CEO of FFG, which is also an acronym for Fly Fitness Group. He is just simply amazing. I have known Deonte for about a little over 10 years. A little bit over 10 years. And he's just more than just a personal trainer. I can definitely tell you that. He's also kingdom minded. He's a millennial. He is a brother. I believe he used to do football. We're going to kind of get into that. He has an amazing testimony story. And so without further ado, let's dive right into this interview. So Deonte, thank you so much for being my guest. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you for having me here.
I appreciate it. You doing big things. I'm telling you.
I'm working on it. I'm trying.
You're doing, and it's amazing to see, especially being a millennial man, a kingdom man, a man of God. It's very admirable, and so I just definitely wanted to tell you that personally. So I'm really ecstatic because, again, I told you all, we've known each other for a little over like 10 years, and I actually took personal training from him and tore my behind up. You remember that?
I remember that.
All of the stretches because I was so not flexible.
Super stiff, y'all.
Super stiff, you know. It wasn't. But I have gotten better over the years, and he taught me a lot, not just only with personal training, but even emotionally and mentally. It's all connected, whether we believe it or not. And I remember you talk about grizzly mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being in grizzly mode, and he was just like, get in grizzly mode. And I was just like, yeah, no, I feel like a teddy bear. I don't feel like grizzly.
One of my old sayings was, you're going to be a bear or you're going to be a grizzly.
Yes. And what was I? A teddy?
She was a cub.
I was a cub.
She was at that intermediate level.
Literally. Okay. And I still need some personal training.
She did good. She held on. No, you really did. You did
I
a
did.
really good job.
Thank you. Okay. Now you don't say nothing you don't mean. So I receive all of that. Okay. Good. I love it. So can you tell the listening audience, how did you acquire FFG and the name Fly Fitness Group and what all of that entails?
So FFG Performance Training is the technical business name for my training brand, my training company. The acronym for FFG is Fly Fitness Group. I got creative with that and where that stems from, Fly. Just basically my whole lifestyle as a kid growing up on the Southside of Chicago. A lot of the time frame when we was going back in the day, we always wanted to do dope stuff, fly stuff, or whatever. So growing up, I always felt like I was fly. I always did dope stuff, fly stuff. So I just it kind of just stuck with me, just from my childhood. Fitness has always been my passion. It's been my lifestyle. So of course, Fly Fitness, and then group. I always did group settings or trained groups of people. So it just felt and it flowed well. But I wanted it to be a little bit more professional. So it became an acronym of FFG Performance Training, which means Fly Fitness Group.
I love it. And I actually remember those group trainings. They were actually phenomenal. So if you are looking for a dope fitness trainer who's going to whip you into shape, he will not take it easy on you, but you will absolutely see results. He is not. He's really not. He was a whole different person. You know, he let me cry a little bit, right? A little bit.
Let the tears fall here.
Let the tears fall. He was just like, get back up. Yeah. Keep going. Keep pushing.
My favorite statement, my favorite slogan is, you'll be all right.
You'll be all right. No, literally. I was like, I can't go no more. My legs hurt. He's like, no, keep going. You got it. Yeah. And I did, and I was. And so I'm grateful because I definitely did see a lot of results. I do want to talk about, so you're talking about you grew up on the south side of Chicago. So you now have this personal training group. You always want to be fly. But I know, based off conversations that we had, you talked about football. So that was something that was your passion. So those are kind of, it's similar, but not similar, you know? Yeah.
My overall dream as a child was to make it to the NFL. So, you know, growing up on the south side or anywhere in Chicago, you either going to be playing some form of a sport, very smart, intelligent, going to school, or unfortunately we allow the streets to kind of take over. So my mom, the way to keep us away from the streets, the gangs, the hood, all that, she just put us in sports. I played practically every sport except for maybe baseball and what soccer. So growing up, I mean, football was definitely a heavy hitter for me. Basketball, we from a basketball city, that was a heavy hitter. So in high school, I just made a decision. I said, whichever one I get a scholarship to, that's the route that I'm gonna go. It's either it's gonna be football or basketball, whoever gave me a scholarship. And ironically, I got a full, football scholarship. I went to University of Akron in Akron, Ohio, and that's where I started my whole path of trying to be great and chasing greatness and stuff like that. Had a good collegiate career and managed to go overseas. Lived out of the country for a few years. I lived in Oslo, Norway for practically about a year, a little bit over a year. Played in the NFL, the EFL, European Football League over there, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Traveled, seeing different countries. Kid from the Southside don't get an opportunity to do that. So,
exactly, see the world.
Took advantage of that opportunity and ran with it.
Absolutely. So what transpired that made you say, I no longer want to do football, but I want to be a personal trainer?
So, in school, of course, you have to declare your major. So at first, I went to Bogan High School.
Okay.
79th Pulaski. So Bogan was a computer and drafting high school. So I took, drafting CAD classes from sophomore year to senior year. So, outside of football and basketball and sports, I'm like, yo, if this doesn't fall through, I'm going to be an architect.
Right.
And we live in Chicago. We're known for our
buildings,
yes. etc. So in my mind, it was like, be the best, become the best, etc. So I was going to become an architect. That was my fallback plan. But when I got to college, started seeing all those different math and science courses and stuff like that, and just those electives and all that's crazy, college stuff. I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. So I didn't declare a major my freshman year. So going into my sophomore year, I talked to my academic advisor, and she was like, you know what, you should, look into something more related to what you're doing.
Right.
And I looked into kinesiology. And
so break down for the audience, what is kinesiology?
So just to kind of dummy it down, I mean, it's big, but it's the overall broad. It's basically the overall of the whole functionality of the muscles, the joints, how the body works, the engineering of the body, the scientific biology portion of the body. You're educating yourself on the book knowledge, the field knowledge of how the muscles work, the functionality of the muscles, how you can, tear or, hurt yourself, etc. So it basically gives you the whole overall of your body.
Okay.
Right? So it teaches you the whole, if you're looking at it in terms of functional training or body weight movements or body functional range of movements one-on-one, that's basically what kinesiology is.
That's real deep.
Yeah, it is, man.
Absolutely.
Anatomy classes, all kind of crazy.
I used to love anatomy and physiology, actually.
Really? We had to do two things. We had to dissect a cadaver.
Okay.
All right.
You had a frog.
Oh my God. And then the frog stank so bad.
I know.
I hated it. It was like, yo, I do not want to do this.
Seeing his little bitty heart.
Oh my God, it was crazy. But it was dope, man. It was a dope experience. College was pretty amazing for me. I know a lot of people can't really say that, but it was definitely amazing.
And I'm glad to hear that because you don't.
She had the candy, the ices, she had it all. The chews, the fruities. So of course during the wintertime, she'd let people come through the back porch. During the summertime, she posted up in the actual alley, like not alley, but gangway, like grass or whatever in front of the building. But yeah, as kids, we seen this woman like hustle. She hustled. She hustled to take care of the house, hustled to take care of her family. So she was the very first entrepreneur that I can even think of, back then during that time frame. So I would say she's definitely top of the list. There's a few others in the family, but definitely, yeah, that's where the roots started.
I love it. And so what I love about what Deonte is saying, not being a product of your environment, but also gleaning from those who are older than you. You know what I mean? Like, he saw an example of somebody who was in business. I can honestly say the same thing too. Like, my grandfather owned a gas station, which is definitely a businessman, buildings and stuff. And so he's probably one of the first entrepreneurs I have definitely seen in my life. He was actually the person who actually spoke to the first prophetic voice in my life that said, I'm not supposed to be working for anybody else. My grandfather said, you're supposed to have your own business. You find out what you're good at and do that.
Same thing, like outside of, like I said, she's a candy lady, but outside of that, like she created her own bus service.
I love it.
For all the neighborhood kids. She bought like one of those old Pace, like how the Pace buses are now, painted it a specific color, put a little logo on there or whatever. And she used to pick up all the neighborhood kids through her network from knowing their moms and their dads or whatever. And they would just pay her to pick up the kid, take the kid to school and come home. So part of like keeping us, you know, grounded and of course away from the drugs and all the stuff that was going on back then in the 80s and the 90s. She put her grandkids, me, my siblings and my cousins, she put us in a Catholic elementary school. So she used to, it was about at least 12 or 13 of us all going to the same school. So and we all went to, it was called Saint Visitation.
Oh,
Saint Visitation is right on 55th and whatever, but it's by the boulevards on the south side. Yeah, so we went to
I'm good with landmarks. So.
Yeah, we went to Saint Visitation Elementary School, and then right across the street was the the actual church. So
church.
Yeah, so you know, I grew up in a Catholic environment, you know, from let's say 5 or 6 to about at least 10, 11. So for about 4 or 5 years, I was in a Catholic environment.
I can't even imagine you being a Catholic boy at all.
Listen, it was crazy. When we used to go in there, we used to have to pray. It was just like, oh my God. You know, we kids, our attention span is like 2 seconds.
Right,
I'm just like rocking, looking around.
You look like that too, right?
And you know, they used to pop us with the rulers back then.
Oh, really?
Hit us, and they were real nuns. So like, pay attention. So I'm just like, you know,
that's so funny.
Clenching. It was crazy. It was fun. And results come in so many different ways. A lot of time frames, most people is like, oh well, I want to see my body do this. But like, well, currently where you are in your fitness journey, your first result was now you created some brand new habits.
Absolutely.
And you went from being a procrastinator to now you finally got some structure and you on a routine and you moving, you know what I'm saying, upward.
Going upward.
Yeah. So people just gotta understand, you know, I know they wanna come and change their body, etc. But sometimes you gotta change your mindset.
You gotta change your mindset.
You gotta change your lifestyle. You gotta change so many things. And yes, fitness has opened that door to do it.
I love it.
So that's where the whole spirituality and stuff comes from. It's like we focus so much on one thing, an aspect being fitness, but we don't understand that part of life has to be, you know, changed and incorporated in there.
I agree, because there's a scripture that says, I believe it's a scripture, or maybe it's just a saying, but so in the natural, so in the spiritual. But what I love about what he's saying is, if you really think about it, we hear this phrase so many times, but it is so accurate. Health is wealth. Literally, you can't be effective in doing what you want to do in your business or even in ministry if you are not healthy, if we're not taking care of our bodies. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a size 6 or size 2, but just be healthy. You know what I mean? And so these are little strategies that will help us be effective. It can work for us or work against us depending on the decisions that we make to take care of our health.
And everybody's journey is different too,
yes,
you know?
For sure.
And because of social media, here's the downside of it. We compare so much.
Yeah.
We compare and contrast. You looking at this person is like, oh my God.
And people are using filters.
You know, and people are using filters. And not only that, like they may look great and they may have a really good body, a natural body too, but they're not posting where they once was 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Like, I'm sure 10 years ago they wasn't looking like this.
Okay.
It took them 10 years to get here.
Pack.
Yeah. But now that they didn't post it and blasted it all on social media, you like, oh my God, I need to look like that. Like, well, it took that person 10 years to get
And that was me. I was like, oh, I need to get some hips or something. But So you were talking about the struggles, how and that's very true. We always, comparison, I said, is the kryptonite to creativity. And when we compare ourselves to different people, our process is different. Success, I always say that, even on my website, success is not a one size fit all. It's not. So talk about the struggles that you have experienced, how it's impacted you. Were there moments that you felt like, I want to give up? Were there moments? Talk about that a little bit. The real, let's get.
I mean, it's been, I've been in the fitness industry for about almost, I would say now, 11 going on 12 years.
Okay.
So legitimately within that time frame, I probably wanted to say, forget this about 5 times. It's like, go do something else, figure it out. But I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Or some form of a boss. If sports or football didn't really work out. Along this journey, I mean, in my 11, almost 12 years, been in the fitness industry. Like I said, about 5 times legitimately that I can think about, just walking away. Saying, I'm over it, I'm done. Of course, just a lot of mistakes on my end. I went to school for kinesiology, so I knew how to train, but running a business is a completely different business.
Very different.
So I definitely didn't know what I was doing at first in terms of being a businessman, building a system, things of that nature. So I made a number of mistakes. And of course, during that time frame of making mistakes, I lost some clientele, lost money. And that didn't sit well with me, of course.
So what did those mistakes look like? You have to get too deep, but just kind of like...
Yeah, just not having a policy for people. I had people that would buy training sessions and then they'd just disappear for a month and pop up and be like, hey, I'm ready to train. I'm like, you made your payment 30 days ago.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I thought I can just train whenever I want to. So I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that with running a business.
Yes.
So in the beginning, it was contracts, but now I just put a waiver into play. And
smart.
It's just a typical gym waiver, and people just got to read through the fine line. It explains everything. So it's not like a contract. You just basically sign a waiver that protects, of course, the legal aspect of both people, but it also breaks down the policy. So I have class policy. With my classes, it has to be like 2 people minimum.
I remember that.
Class.
Yes.
A lot of people would be like, "Oh, I paid you this." I'm like, "Well, you paid for the class. It's not necessarily one-on-one."
Right.
So I just had to learn a lot of things as a minority business owner, entrepreneur. So policies, systems, a lot of those things. I made a lot of mistakes in that area. And other areas of just allowing life, like just because I was doing great and the up and coming, aspiring, good, trainer, I still had my life stuff that was going on.
So you were feeling yourself a little bit. I'm being facetious.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. And one of my favorite quotes, I forget who quoted this, but I think it could have been like Nipsey Hussle or something, but it said never get too high, never get too low, but never get so hung up on your wins. All right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because your wins can always, deplenish. They can always fall apart. So I used to hit wins, and I'm like, man, I already celebrate them, So yeah, I'm feeling myself. Trying to live life. But at that point, you couldn't really get comfortable because you're still not where you want to be.
Exactly.
You just hit a new level.
Exactly.
So for me, I used to want to celebrate for a whole month, But now it's like 1 or 2 days, going back to it. Let's get back to it, hit some more goals. So yeah, it was a lot of things. Life itself, like I had family problems, had women problems.
I won't even say it on camera, but yeah.
Problems. I mean, so yeah, you start second guessing yourself.
For sure.
And there's times where I ask God, like, yo, is this really what you want?
Right. What's going on, God? Yes.
I always wanted to live out my goals, but also live out my passion.
Yeah,
and my
for
purpose. I feel like we all have a purpose on this earth.
Yes.
So what I'm doing in life, I want it to have a purposeful meaning towards what I'm trying to accomplish on a career path.
Absolutely.
So just trying to, branch those two together. It was a struggle. And like I said, I made a lot of mistakes, but I never gave up. I never felt.
I love it.
always, like I said, you fall down, 8 times, you get up nine.
Get up.
So that's pretty much what it was. Every time
I
I fell,
love
I got back
that.
up.
And what I love about what he said, he was talking about processes and procedures. Those are so important when it comes to business, because if you don't have the appropriate systems in place, the processes, something that works for you, it is going to be hectic. You're going to work harder than what you need to work. You're going to be stressed out, overloaded. And sometimes when you're first starting off, I can attest to this because I'm only 3 months in right now. And so I don't have a full team right now. So I'm doing certain things by myself, and I'm learning how important it is to stay organized and to have a right process and strategy in place, so I'm not overworking myself, I am not stressed out, and I'm not losing really my motivation. And I can attest to this, learning through entrepreneurship, especially starting off. All business is not good business. All money is not good money, and we all like money, but it's not. If it's going to devalue your business, if it's, and I had to learn that. Like, I can't interview everybody. I can't, pour into everyone and vice
I
versa.
do the same
So,
thing. I got to a point where, I almost had about 80 active clients, and I'm just like, like, man, you let the floodgates flow, but a lot of time frames we're not ready for our overflow. When
absolutely.
Our overflow hit. So
Now you're speaking.
I learned the hard way, with that. I prayed for the clientele. I prayed to make X amount of dollars a month to hit this goal, because I was trying to set up for all the stuff that I'm currently doing now 11, 12 years ago. But when that overflow hit, I was like, whoa.
Wait a minute.
Like, hold up. Like, real life. And I didn't know how to manage. I didn't know how to manage and retain that money. So a lot of people are like, oh, I made 30,000. Like, okay, I made 30,000 10 times in a row. Not too many people can say that.
Yes.
A lot of people are like, well, I made 30,000 this month. Okay, but can you do that for the next 8 to 9 months?
Right.
All right, and then if you can do that, then that means you have to have some type of process, procedure, system put into play. And if you do have the systems put into play, now out of all the 16 different hats that we wear, now we can transition into the next phase.
I love it.
Entrepreneurship
smoothly
without pulling all the loose ends and all that stress that you got to carry on your back and stuff like that. So I just learned, and I started going to business seminars.
I love it. You're investing in yourself.
Doing some personal development, reading specific books, watching YouTube more.
I love it.
And then over time, once again, just kept getting better, just kept growing. It was all about just,
evolving.
Keep going uphill. If something happens, I got hurt on the road, let's just maneuver and get back on track and keep going.
I love that, because something that I talk about all the time, especially on social media, is not only personal development, but emotional intelligence. When I say that's going to get you so much further in life and in business and in ministry, for those who are watching that are believers, emotional intelligence is so important, because there are going to be things that we learn from trial and error. There are going to be mistakes that we're going to make, things we don't know. But it's all about how we bounce back from that. It's about being resilient. It's about working smarter and not harder, and also having the right community of people around us. Deonte mentioned about his purpose and his passion, both of those conjoining together, because he doesn't just want to do business, but he wants it to be purposeful. And we all have a purpose. Everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur or business owner, but even those who are aspiring to do that, find out what your purpose is. Be still for a little bit. Talk to God. You'll definitely figure out what that is. I do want to talk about, because we were talking on the elevator a little bit, and I'm really excited for Deonte, because he is dapping into being a serial entrepreneur, literally. But it's really dope what he's doing right now. So can you tell the listening audience, what is FFG getting into right now?
So I have currently right now I have 4 businesses. 2 of them are about to be active. The other 2, one is more of a holding account for real estate when I started tapping into real estate. The other one is trucking. I come also from a trucking background, from a trucking family a little bit too. We put that one on pause just a little bit, but we got to pick that back up at some point towards the summer, fall of this year. But I am transitioning into another role as an entrepreneur and a business owner. I'm opening up a chicken and shrimp restaurant
I
in the
love
West
it.
Loop of Chicago. I'm one of four owners, but I'm actually running the
I
actual
love
restaurant.
it.
I'm overseeing everything. And we're in the West Loop. So we are probably one of maybe 3 to 5 minority black owned businesses
I
in the
love
West Loop.
that.
So that's big.
Yes.
That's huge.
That's huge.
But yeah, we're about 30 days away. Man, it's about to be big.
It's exciting. I can eat the shrimp because I'm allergic, but I'll definitely go and support with the chicken part for sure.
George's Chicken and Shrimp. Address is going to be 1419 West Taylor Street in Chicago, West Loop. Check us out. We'll be open in about another 30 to 45 days, man. Come see us.
I love it. So is there gonna be like soul food there,
Yeah,
or
you know what? We're going to be more of a bougier version of a Harold's
okay?
chicken. Our chicken is going to be somewhat on that Harold's chicken lane, but a little bit more of an upscale, bougier version of it.
I love it
And then the shrimp, etc. We're going to have other American style
for
dishes.
sure.
But on Sunday, here's another big thing when we do open our second floor level. On Sunday, we're going to have a Sunday brunch.
That's nice.
And we're going to have a specialty hour, specialty menu. We have a first floor and a second floor level to the restaurant. The second floor level is going to be probably finished a little later, right before the summer. And when we open up everything, that's when the Sunday brunch is going to take place.
I love that, and he's making me hungry. I love that. You are doing it. You kind of remind me of Michael Jordan's story when he started off, and we all know him as like the greatest of all time. But when he was starting off, Deonte, you remind me of him because he didn't give up. Like he started off in JV. His brother was better than him at one point or whatever, but he persisted. He was resilient, and like he's like the Michael Jordan and LeBron James, y'all. Listen. Super dope, and just like these young men, but your story, you did not give up. You did not allow where you came from to define who you are. Your balance in terms of being a believer and in business, and you're able to collaborate with other people to have which is a huge success, downtown Chicago, West Loop, a restaurant. So 4 black men, right?
Yeah.
Restaurant in the West Loop that's coming out. That is amazing. You're only 35, right?
Age to my age. No, I'm a young OG. I'm 38. I turned 39 this summer of this year.
Awesome. So like 39 years old, and I think that's some of the major accomplishments that are happening right now, and super humble for you all who don't know. Very, very humble.
Gotta be humble.
Absolutely. You got to be, because you just don't know, and so can you tell the listening audience, leave them with something, a word of encouragement, a word of advice, anything about your background, what you want them to know or leave away with?
Mm-hmm. Well, just to piggyback off the last statement about being humble, always be humble. Remain humble. Of course, never forget who you are, never forget your work, but always remain humble, because when you up, all right, and you make mistakes and do bad things or handle certain situations, or people in your network the wrong way, you're going to see them when you come down. All right. So people will always remember, if you've had a negative experience with them, all right, they could have sat on something for 10 years, but they're going to remember, that unhumble moment or whatever negative moment you have. So always just remember, you are your face, you are your brand, you yourself. So just wanted to, give y'all that gem. But in general, for me, I don't know. Elaborate more on the question. What?
No, just basically like leaving with the listening audience what you wanted to leave them with. I do want you to say, though, on a final note, how people can reach you, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, your website, also his classes too, y'all. I'm telling you, you definitely want to do some personal training classes with him.
Yeah. So I call it the functional training experience, aka take the experience. So right now, my classes pretty much start anywhere between 7 a.m. And we go anywhere between 7 a.m. to about 9, take a small break, start back up at around 11. We're done around 1:30 at the latest, and that's Monday through Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays are the only evening days that I train. My website is www.ffgperformance.com. My two IG handles, which is the majority one where you see on my shirt, is called I am fly _. I built that. It just stands for, fly means fitness, lifestyle, youth. Which
I love it.
Another gym that I'm going to drop to you guys that I shouldn't be dropping early, but it's a not-for-profit base that's going to be tiered into the training as well. The business IG page is FFG Performance. I got a YouTube, channel that's going to be opening up pretty soon. So it's going to be a lot of social media, sites that you can catch me on, of course, Facebook, things of that nature.
And can we talk about, this is how you brand and market your business, right? So you're talking about FFG, Fly Fitness Group, and you see the chain. And even can you stand up for a moment? Even but I love this because I tell people the importance of marketing and branding your business. You are a walking billboard, literally. Absolutely. You are your brand. And people don't realize that. It's just like, the first, what do they see? What is Fly? What is Millennial Mogul? So keep those things in mind. Will these be for sale?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like I said, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I got a lot of stuff going on right now. The main two focus is just training clients in the restaurant. We're going to get that going and stuff like that. I start the potential manufacturing build out with a manufacturing company in LA around May, June. So I'll be flying out to LA to sit down and come up with the actual custom patterns. And I'm going to drop some stuff towards the middle end of summer, going to fall here in Chicago. Got some other big things in store. A lot of stuff. Don't want to drop too much, right? Too fast. But at this point, it's just about being a serial entrepreneur. I'm not putting all my ducks in one basket.
Which is smart.
I'm planting seeds. I'm loading bases.
Because wealthy people are said to have at least 7 streams of income. That's very, very true. I love that. I'm even motivated even now.
One of my favorite rap artists, God rest his soul, Nipsey Hussle. He got a low basis.
Mm-hmm.
Load it.
You do.
The marathon continues.
It does. Nike said just do it. Yeah. You got to just do it.
So I'm out here just making moves, planting seeds, just watching it grow.
I love it because when you plant a seed, it brings forth a harvest. So I love that. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. Each week we're going to go higher. We're going to get better and better. I'm super ecstatic because, again, this is my 3rd month with Millennial Mogul. I'm just appreciative of everyone who has come this far. Please feel free to follow me on my business IG at Official Millennial Mogul. Follow me on YouTube at Millennial Mogul Podcast or at Official Millennial Mogul. Facebook, Millennial Mogul LLC. And I always want to leave you all with this, that, again, success is not a one-size-fits-all. You cannot measure your success by someone else's. Our process and our journey is very different. And again, even though my faith is a big part of my business, and I'm glad I don't have to deny my faith for my business, you don't have to be a believer to apply the different things that we're talking about. But like I always say, hey, you may not I'm not forcing my relationship on God with anybody, but I'm telling you, it will change your life. I promise it'll change your life. So thank you all. I always tell you all, Carpe Diem, seize the day. Thank you so much, Deonte. I appreciate it. Oh my God. I'm super proud of you. No, like, for real proud of you.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, I'm excited. Y'all know I need to get this autograph soon. I don't know. Literally, because I see so much, but I'll say it off camera. But thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye.